So, in today's video, I would like to recount my day again. Because it's been a shit day. Now, mind you, my shit day today is far better than other people's shit day today. A lot of people having a shit day today. Fair enough. But I had a pretty shit day today too. I woke up this morning. Nothing was really all that different from yesterday morning. Except, I didn't have the shits. I was pretty happy about that. I was like, this is great. I got myself a new pack of hand wipes for work. Finally found time to remember to go and do that. Cool. The work day was great. I wasn't looking forward to 2 o'clock. I figured by 2 o'clock my day could get shitty. Because in the job notes for my 2 o'clock job, it said, under deck, we'll have to crawl. And I was like, why the fuck are you giving that job to the 45-year-old man with bad knees, bad back, and a bad neck? What the fuck? So I'm like, alright, well, whatever. We'll have to see what it is when it's going on. I have capabilities. I have things that I can do. There's only so much I can do. So I'm like, we'll see what happens when I get there. But other than that, everything went fine today. Everything was good. Everything worked. Everything was cool. And then it got to 2 o'clock, and I was like, ugh. And I looked at the situation, and I was like, well, the space is about this big. I am about this big. So, like, that shit ain't gonna happen. So I was kind of happy I didn't have to crawl under a deck. I was able to do what I needed to do. Took about 40 minutes or so. Get in the car. Driving my 3 o'clock stop, which I knew was going to be easy as fuck. And everything was going to be cool, and I was going to be off. I was going to get home all day long. I was thinking about this video I wanted to do. And around noon, I was reading my book. Reading this book, Severed Souls by Terry Goodkind. It's like book 15 in the Sword of Truth series, right? I'm reading this book, and I get to this part, and I thought to myself as I read this part, I think I should read this to everybody else. I think that this, being read, would be a good follow-up to yesterday's video. It would kind of put things in perspective. I really like this part. It's like, you gotta bear with me, it's like 4 or 5 pages. But there's a big section I'm gonna skip, so. Nevertheless, it's story time, kids. Gather around, have a seat. Alright. Zed thought about... there is one part that I am going to need to give context to. Who Zed and Richard are, doesn't fucking matter to this. It doesn't matter. But there is one point where they reference the half people. This is a sword and sorcery fantasy world, and we have uncovered this race of people that are born without souls. They have no souls. They're practically like animals. Some of them are more like animals than others. Some of them are actually pretty high functioning. Some of them are even fairly good, like problem solving and shit like that. So you tell the conflict level here, right? Oh, also they eat people. They believe they can get the soul as it's leaving the body in whatever piece of meat or blood or whatever that the soul is in, and they figure they can eat that. And to say that this book series has fucking gone off the rails, that was like 2 books ago. Book 3 of Off the Fucking Rails. We got zombies, right? Those are the half people. That's the only thing that really needs, that's like referenced in this, that needs context. But nevertheless, Zed thought about his answer for a moment. Since the dawn of man, there have always been people bent on harming others. There have always been periods of peace and enlightenment, and there have been dark times, but through it all, mankind survived. That cycle has repeated itself over and over. It wasn't always easy, and despite those who would have it otherwise, life went on. Richard let out a sigh of his own. It seems like people would learn from that and let others live their lives. Zed shrugged. I personally believe that it's a basic flaw in mankind's makeup. What do you mean? What sort of flaw? Hate. I believe it is a fundamental defect in mankind. While other creatures live to nurture and live their lives, only some of mankind lives that way. Sure, there are both good and bad people. I don't understand what you mean by a flaw, though. Well, revulsion, hate, is a fundamental function of nature. Hate is a judgment, and judgment is necessary to life. Mice hate owls, so they hide. Rabbits hate wolves. That judgment makes them always ready to run. It's necessary and natural to be repelled by things that are harmful to life. It's a built-in natural protective mechanism. We don't have to think it through each time because the judgment is automatic. We hate the smell of corpses, for example. We hate it when thieves steal what belonged to us. We hate murderers. It's natural to hate those things. The same way it is natural for birds to hate cats and make a ruckus in protest whenever one roams by. Some of Richard's earliest memories were of Zed speaking in this role, passing along lessons, so he simply listened to his grandfather as his grandfather went on. Hatred of the smell of corpse makes us bury or burn the dead, which keeps us from getting diseases. Hatred of thieves prompts us to guard against those who would sneak in and steal the food from our children's mouths. We hate murderers because they steal our lives. That kind of hatred breeds caution and causes us to take measures to protect ourselves. We lock doors, we carry weapons, we take a variety of measures to protect our loved ones from those who would cause them harm. In animals, that hatred stops there. A rabbit does not hate sheep, for example. You will see rabbits and sheep eating grass side by side. Animals will protect their own territory so they can provide for themselves and their young, but they don't take more territory simply to possess it. In humans, we communicate, enabling us to pass our judgment on to others. We might say, I hated traveling that route because it's so steep that I almost fell and broke my neck. That judgment, framed in the emotion of hate, is so basic to our nature that it is easily transferred to others. But in many people, that capacity for hatred loses its natural, rational motive. The emotion runs wild and becomes their dominant trait. They are no longer able to appreciate the good in anything. Having lost the link to rational purpose, they react purely on the emotion. Because the power of that emotion, their minds become set in that single direction. It becomes so all-consuming that many of those people lose even their capacity to love life. They can only hate. The good in life is what quenches hatred in normal people, the way a smile can calm a quarrel. But in those people who carry this flaw, their hatred burns so hot they become to hate what is good in life specifically because they don't want to stop hating. Hatred becomes the driving purpose of their lives. They live to hate. That flaw twists nature in on itself. In order to preserve their state of hatred, they must attack the good, wipe away that smile, so to speak. That single-minded emotion of hate has been a fundamental inherent flaw in mankind's nature since the dawn of time. It drives people to fight, to conquer, to dominate, to destroy. Hatred has such powerful emotions attached to it that others take it up out of fear. In that way, hate spreads like a panic in a crowd. Expanded beyond its rational bounds, hate exists entirely in the realm of raw emotion, where it ceases to serve a useful purpose and instead becomes a powerful corrosive that eats away the fabric of civilization itself, at the very ability of people to interact peacefully. It spawns fights among children and among neighbors. It spawns wars. It spawns genocide and slaughter. It's present in every great land and every tiny village. It creates bullies and tyrants. That unquenchable, passionate, rampant flaw is universal throughout mankind. One of the wizard's rules, actually, there have always been those who hate, and there always will be. You can't change it. You can only try to keep such people from harming you. For if they can, they will. In many ways, fighting them only reinforces that emotion of hate. Even protecting yourself from them only makes them more determined to cause you harm. People born with that inherent tragic defect are like an animal born without eyes. They can only perceive things through the prism of hate. Since they have in a way lost their ability to see, lost that compassionate, tolerant connection to the rest of humanity, they have in a way lost their souls. The half-people are driven by their nature of being born without a soul, so that trait drives them to behave the way they do. It is a fundamental flaw in their nature that they cannot change. Everything they do is driven by that flaw. In much the same way, those driven by hate are like the half-people. And in a fundamental way, they too are alive, but without a soul. Both are driven by their inherent defect to destroy life that is complete and wholesome. That hatred is so all-consuming in some that they would even deliberately destroy themselves if it enabled them to destroy others along with them. Hatred provides them with the justification for every sort of evil. People who carry this inherent trait have been around long before you ever came... Oh, okay, this is where I was going to skip. No, I wasn't going to skip that. Okay. People who carry this inherent trait have been around long before you ever came along, Richard, and they will be around long after you are gone. It's a constant struggle for balance in mankind itself, those who create and those who want only to destroy. But we can't let them win, Richard insisted. Zed smiled sadly. Even if you win this battle, the next day someone else will rise up. This is the basic struggle for mankind's destiny. The struggle between civilized reason and savage emotion. It is endless and will go on until it eventually destroys the human race. In a perverse way, such evil is encouraged by the mere act of trying to do right by others. That good inflames their hate, drives them on, so in a way, trying to do good only feeds evil. Yeah, that's where you go to... If enough people are strong enough in their love of life, then mankind will survive. If there are too many who do not value their lives but instead hate life and those who love it, then mankind will not survive. You alone cannot tip the balance. I read that around noon. And somewhere in the back of my mind I was like, this is very important. This is very profound. This is very... representative of a lot of things that are going on and that I believe are soon to start happening. And I read that thinking, that's somehow important. I should probably read that today. Now we'll fast forward back to 2 o'clock, 2:40-ish, somewhere around there. Do my paperwork. Heading on to my last stop for the day, 3 o'clock. And at 2:55, they had announced that Charlie Kirk had been shot at Utah University. He was doing one of his things that he does. The man started with a table, a few dozen people, and now he's got a big tent pavilion thing with 1,000 fucking people there. And somebody shot him in the neck. They rushed him to the hospital, and he died. And here we are. Immediately after it happened, it became enraging. Because immediately after it happened, somebody decided to go to the police and turn themselves in. They said that they were the one who did it. This delayed the investigation, the pursuit, the search, whatever, enough that whoever it was has escaped. They're still at large as of 8:50 or whatever. I mean, it's 8:50 now. The last I saw, an hour or so ago, they still hadn't caught the guy. I believe that person should get the charge of accessory to murder after the fact, or whatever it is that they have in Utah, whatever it is that they would call the equivalent in Utah, because that is exactly what he did. He turned himself in to buy time for the murderer so that he could escape. I don't know if that was planned. I don't know if this guy's a part of it or if he's just a fucking retard. But he should get 50 to life with no chance of parole. I see that as a good lesson to any other fucking retard that would do that kind of shit. I think that is a perfect lesson, and they should put him in with very bad people. I'm still mad. I'm still mad about the same shit, except this is so very much worse. Some black dude stabs some white girl on a fucking train. Oh, is it Tuesday? Like that kind of shit happens all the time. People are pissed. Ultimately, everybody's gonna bitch about it on Twitter. It ratchets things up. Every time some shit like this happens, we're rolling the dice to see if one of the people on our side goes fucking crazy. Because remember, it isn't a fucking line. It's a ring. And the people at the farthest end of each side are the same. The guy who did this is no different than crazy right-wing people. Somebody said in the comments from yesterday's video, I don't think that anybody on the right would go in and shoot up a church. And I'm like, well, it's happened once before. I think it's silly to think it won't happen again. Like, except this time, we're not rolling a percentile dice to see on this broad spectrum of, is this going to be the thing that makes a loony pop? We're like rolling a D fucking 4 now. We're practically flipping coins here. Charlie Kirk is assassinated. Like, it's a political assassination. He was doing a political talk. He's a huge political figure. Charlie Kirk's fucking massive. He's on the fucking news all the time. Started doing fucking YouTube and that kind of shit. Getting around here and there. Has his podcast and all that kind of stuff. Goes to universities. And sure, I've said in the past that I'm fine with the message. I don't know the man. Never met Charlie Kirk. I don't know him. I don't know Ben Shapiro. I don't know Michael Knowles. I don't know any of these guys. So whatever. I hear from everybody they're great. Nice people. Cool. Awesome. That's fantastic. They should be. I think that'd be that's awesome. But I also don't have a problem with the message. I can't think of one thing I've ever heard Charlie Kirk say that I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, he always seemed reasonable to me. I don't know. I guess I'd have to look through some stuff and see if he ever really went off the rails, but, you know, I can't remember anything where he said something where I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So, fine with the message. It's the delivery. I don't like the snide, smarmy, look retard, let me hold your hand and fucking walk you through this. Like, and sometimes these guys give that shit up, and it's like, this is not how you change hearts and minds. This is how you make people annoyed with you, and then they get a fucking out nothing. So, I always have a problem with some of these things. Nevertheless, it's why he's huge, and I'm not. I try my best not to do that shit. I try my best not to become sensational in any way. Like, I don't want to... I'm not looking for that shit. I just want to tell the story. I want to make some fucking jokes. I want to have a good time. It just seems. I don't really get the chance anymore, god damn it. That Cracker Barrel was fun. The Cracker Barrel video was pretty fun. That was fun. I had fun with that one. Last 2 days. Today and yesterday sucks. Dude. This is the problem that I was going on about yesterday with this train stabbing. Turned up exponentially. I can't even fathom the multiplier on this. It's a political assassination. This isn't those people doing that to those people. This is half of our country doing that to half of our country. This is, apparently you don't understand. The beatings will continue until morale improves. The killings will continue until you let us have our way. Until you fall under our thumb and don't ever dare question us. Join the cult or die. This is now the message. This is what's going on. This is not going to go well. I said I can't even imagine what would have happened in this fucking country had that asshole actually killed Donald Trump. Now we're going to get to find out what would have happened to a far smaller degree. And I don't like it. I don't want to find out what happens from here. I never wanted to find out what's happened from here. It is why I have always encouraged people to not do this shit. I don't know what this fucking prick thought was gonna happen here. I'm gonna shoot Charlie Kirk, and then Donald Trump's gonna step down, and J.D. Vance's gonna step down, and they're gonna put Hakeem Jeffries in charge, and him and AOC's vice president are really gonna fucking put the screws to these assholes I don't like. It's time to start killing the people I don't like. It's time to start putting these motherfuckers in place. It ain't gonna happen that way, you stupid fucking piece of shit. Like, I'm pretty sure that the black on white stabbings and killings, that kind of shit can go on for decades more before people are really going to be like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm killing some motherfuckers. You speak broke ass fucking English, I'm shooting you in the head. Like that, we could go on for decades with black people randomly just stabbing white people and nothing's really going to happen. This shit, with the political condition that we are in right now, we got crazy people on both sides. The crazy people on the right are going to start getting jealous. How come the left gets to kill so many people? This is not good. This is extremely bad. And again, of course, we're very lucky that we have the video, right? We can all sit back and watch Charlie Kirk get shot. So that again, we can have little strips torn out of our fucking souls. So that we can fill those empty places with hate. Don't watch it. He got shot in the neck. He died. There you go. You don't need to see it. You shouldn't want to see it. You should not watch that shit. It will eat away at you. You'll see it in your fucking dreams. You'll see it when you close your eyes. And if it doesn't affect you, you need to consider that. Like if you're like, oh, I watch that shit all the time. That's why it doesn't affect you, because you watch that shit all the time. At one point you were horrified, that was your clue. I kind of went through that to a degree. I played this game called Manhunt. It was a game where you were in a prison, but it was like fucking Running Man, where it's all this open thing. You had to go around and kill all these people, but it was like really fucking brutal. And the first time I took a piece of glass and stabbed somebody's fucking eyes out with it, and I was like, what the fuck? And like every time I would see, you know, a new execution for the first time, I would be like, wow. And by the end of the game, I was just like, whatever, this isn't as bad as other shit I've seen in this game. Like, I've experienced that. Stop it. Stop doing that to yourself. Guy had a wife, 2 kids. And at first it was, well, you know, Charlie he got scooped up, run to the hospital. Nobody knew what had really happened or not. And I was like, well, God, I hope he lives. Because if he lives, shot and missed yet again. Everybody laughs at the left. You guys ain't got no fucking aim. But now? This is not good, man. Again, it's past the point of, is this going to happen? It's, when is this going to happen? I've said that from this way, and today was the day. You know? They're getting so fucking amped up. They're getting so fucking crazy. They have convinced themselves that they are freedom fighters in fucking 1940s Nazi Germany, and they have convinced themselves that they are the last line of defense against utter tyranny and destruction. And so what do? They cause destruction through utter tyranny. Perfect. Perfect. And of course, this will change nothing into this person's favor. And in fact, as always, there will be the opposite effect. People are reviled and disgusted by this sort of thing. Murderers steal life. People don't like that. They're going to move to protect themselves. This is really not good. I don't see good things coming from this. I see some good things coming from this. I'm sure that there is going to be some memorial fund, something. Turning Point USA is going to fucking rage on. But man, if this shit continues, it is not the beatings will continue until morale improves. It is not the beatings will continue until we get our fucking way. It is the beatings will continue until the crew is so upset there's mutiny. Like, this is fucking America. Like, as stupid as so many people are about that, the one thing about America is we don't like tyrants. We will not be ruled. Since our founding, those of us who actually went to schools and were taught about this fucking country, not the fantastical retarded fucking version that they teach kids nowadays, but like the actual fucking country, those of us who learned about what it took to get here, how unbelievably amazing all the random coincidences that just happened to fall together in place. We had some of the most brilliant men of all time as far as how to do leadership. Guys that had been under horrible rule and had really thought for like way more than 20 minutes about what we should do, how we should do this, how we should make this thing happen. And even though nowadays we need to have 1,500 pages to explain one little bill, they needed one big fucking piece of parchment with a couple other little pieces of parchment here and there to put the whole thing on. The foundation of our country is on a big piece of paper. Yet it takes us 15 fucking thousand pieces of paper to figure out how we're going to spend the money. People actually understand what our founding documents mean, how important that is. And this is not good, man. People are going to react to this shit. I hope nothing happens. I pray to God that everybody is able to fucking stay the course and not just throw everything into their corner over this. Because remember, on CNN, MSNBC, all these fucking ABC, NBC, all these fucking networks, you know what they're saying right now? They're talking about how terrible Charlie Kirk was and how he brought all this shit on himself. Fox News is the only one going, oh, this really sucks. This is terrible. This is awful. Everybody on X, I'm sure there are fucking retards on X laughing and being pieces of shit over this. I know it. That doesn't help. Makes things worse. It's called compounding hate, compounding misery, compounding pain. Concentrating it into a viscous fucking poison so that everybody can take a big old gulp of their rage for the day, and so that more random fucking lunatics can start making fucking plans. Great. This is awesome. This is fantastic. This is exactly what we need. Exactly what we need. The day after everybody's talking about this chick getting murdered. Fucking awesome. Oh, and by the way, it's September 10th. Tomorrow's going to be a grand old fucking day of remembrance. Now overshadowed by this. I pray that everybody stays the course. Don't let your anger turn into hate. Don't let your hate consume you. Like in that passage, it becomes an emotion that is without boundaries and is useless to anything being good. But, I mean, I'm not stupid enough to not acknowledge that this is a ticking time bomb. This is a tinderbox. This is bad. But this is life. This is life until it changes, until something happens that's gonna wind up so fucking egregious. It's gonna be a thing, but everybody's gonna look to the president now to do something. He's gonna do something. And then everybody's gonna go, oh my god, that's even more justification for me to go out and shoot other people. Because again, they're all going to hear about how he's a fucking terrorist and he's just a tyrant, and now he's busting down martial law on all of you people. The Young Turks going to have a fucking field day with this. Now Donald Trump's going to really come against us and really fuck us over, and really going to now we're going to see the real tyranny. Perfect. Keep going, dumb fucks. Like, I think everybody in the media right now, everybody who does this kind of shit, everybody who's in politics, I really think you should pay attention beyond your either joy or disgust at this event. I think you should look at this event very seriously. I think you should take this very seriously. I think you should take the things you say very seriously, because Charlie was killed for what he said. It wasn't what he did. He didn't stab some girl on a train. No. He went to universities and talked to people. I think everybody who has something to say pretty much anywhere should really think about today's events. Should consider them. Don Lemon, you go out man on the street style. He's doing fucking street interviews. Right? Fox, how many, like the morning show, you can always see people in the windows walking by and looking in. Dude, I think everybody should really fucking think about the things they say. But yeah, there you go. So that's today's video. Again, another heavy topic. So, don't really find it appropriate to even do another video to just throw out with it that's something fun, because I gotta tell you, I'm not in a fun fucking mood right now. I was this morning. We'll try again tomorrow. We'll see who gets fucking killed tomorrow. We'll see what happens, I guess. I don't even fucking know anymore. Whatever.